Good morning, student. Today we are going to continue our fifth chapter, light energy, after the Diwali vacation. Now the topic which is left is about the Newton's experiment. What Newton has done, that he passed a single beam of light from the hole, that is, we can say, monochromatic ray of light, and allow it to fall on the prism. A single ray of light, when falls on the surface of the prism, initially it is passing from air medium, now going from a denser medium, say glass, so it gets refracted, and the refraction seen by him is in the 7 different constituent colors, and these colors he find over here as VIBGYOR. Okay, and this can be read as VIBGYOR. Okay, VIBGYOR. You can keep it in mind as a VIBGYOR from starting from the base of the prism. Means when he allow a monochromatic beam of light to fall on the prism, then at the first interface, when the light strikes, it gets refracted into the prism. Again, it suffers for the second time refraction, and it bent toward the bent toward the base of the prism. And here he found that a single ray of light gets splitted up into the 7 different rays, and these rays having a different color looks like as a rainbow. Okay, and those colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red from the base of the prism upward. So he concluded that the prominent colors are mixed into a beam of light. It is these colors got by this fleeted ray is not due to the prism. It is not due to the prism, but it is this ray of light is composed of the 7 different colors, right? So he concluded that thing. Means a ray of light he concluded that the ray of light is a mixture of these different 7 colors. Understood? So these colors, patches or bands he got on the screen. Here I can say a white screen. Okay, on the white screen he got these different color bands. These are not because of prism. ये prism के वजह से नहीं है. Okay, means it is a constituent colors of the ray of light. So he concluded this. Now our question is, what is this dispersion? Dispersion of light. We are studying this concept. Okay, what is the dispersion of light? We can see that here the light gets splitted up. So I can write this definition as the splitting of light into 7 constituent colors. Okay, 7 constituent color is known as dispersion of light. Okay, so this definition you can keep in mind. What is this? This is a splitting of the ray of light into a 7 different colors is known as what? The dispersion of the light. Now we are going to study about what is the cause of dispersion of light. Why this ray of light get dispersed when passes from the prism. In case of the rainbow also you find that when a rainbow you find exactly opposite to the sun, right? Exactly opposite to the sun. Okay, when the sun rays passing through the raindrop, then raindrop acts as a denser medium, and these get dispersed, the ray of light get dispersed into a 7 constituent color. In the opposite direction you find the rainbow, all the 7 colors. And same sequence what I told, Vibgyor from down to top, Vibgyor, okay? So that you keep in mind. Now next point is, what is the cause of dispersion of light? Cause, okay? Cause of dispersion of light. ये डिस्पर्शन ऑफ लाइट जो हो रहा है, ये क्यों हो रहा है? ओके, व्हाई दिस डिस्पर्शन ऑकर? ओके, कॉज ऑफ डिस्पर्शन ऑफ लाइट. You know that the sun rays composed of 7 different colors, okay, Vibgyor, and when all the colors of a array of the colors passing from vacuum, then there is no change in speed of light. So I must want to tell you that the cause of dispersion of light is nothing but a change in speed of light while passing from different medium. Okay, so when the ray of light changes its medium while passing, then it causes a dispersion. It causes a dispersion. As I told you the example of the prism. In case of the prism, monochromatic beam of the light allowed to fall on the prism from air medium and it passing from the glass medium through the prism, medium get changed, so the speed of light also get changed. And because of this change in speed of light, you find the dispersion of the light. So what is the cause of dispersion of light? Change in speed of light while passing from one medium to another medium. This is the cause of dispersion of light. Okay, now we know that whatever the colors we got as the Vibgyor, according to this, you find that the red color wavelength of the red color is very maximum, while the wavelength of the violet color is minimum. Because of its high wavelength, its refractive index is lesser, while because of its lower wavelength, its refractive index is very more. So we find that the bending of this violet color is more, while the red color is very least. Okay, so violet color when passing from air, it gets bent more than the red color. In a vacuum, the speed of all the color of the light is same. If I talk about the vacuum, okay, speed same. If I talk about the medium, another medium, कोई भी medium में से अगर जा रही है color, speed changes. अभी speed कैसे changes होगी? See about the speed. Okay, this speed of the red light is very high, while the speed of the violet color is very low or slow. Because of this, speed is higher, wavelength is higher, the refractive index of this red color is less. Because of that, we find the least deviation of the red color, least dispersion of the red color. But here, in case of the violet color, as you come from top to bottom, you find that this speed of the light decreases and it is least one. Wavelength is also least, and because of that, refractive index of the violet color is very much. So it bends more than the red color. Red color shows a very lesser bending. I can explain you. See that this is a medium, surface medium. Two rays are incident parallelly, right? One is say violet color, other is say red color. Now it is going from say air medium to denser medium, means say glass medium. What do you find over here? You find that the bending shown by the violet color is more than the red color. You find here the angle of refraction over here is lesser than here. So bending shown by violet color is more and the bending shown by the red color is lesser. Okay, so this is the topic and which is concluded by the Newton. Okay, let's see about the spherical mirror. These spherical mirrors are made up of a hollow sphere. If assume that this is a hollow sphere and it is sectioned as AB and this side AB. If I silver this spherical sphere from inside, okay, silver from inside over here and silver from outside over here. When we cut these pieces, then we find this as a convex mirror and this part as a concave mirror. When we cut the hollow sphere into two different sections, okay, according to AB, then we find the two mirrors formed. One is a convex mirror, other is a concave mirror. In case of the convex mirror, so we can say that there are two types of spherical mirrors. One is a convex, other is a concave. Now, what is a convex and concave mirrors? Here, when the inside surface of the part of the hollow sphere is silvery and the outside is taken as a reflecting surface, then such type of mirror is known as convex mirror. When we silvered the outside surface of the hollow sphere and we take the inside surface which is inside the hollow sphere as a reflector, then we can say such type of mirror form is a concave mirror. So by cutting this spherical or we can say hollow spherical surface into the two different sections, we find the two different types of mirror. One is a concave, other is a convex. In case of convex mirror, silvering is done inside and reflecting is taken as outside. In the case of concave, it is exactly opposite. Reflecting is taken inside and silvering is done from outside. Okay. Now we are going to study about the different concepts which are related to the spherical mirror. Now let's start one by one. Okay. Now let's see the different concepts related to this mirror. First concept is pole. What is pole? Pole is nothing but a geometric center of the mirror. Okay, we can say this as a pole. It is a geometric center of mirror, or we can say aperture of the mirror. Aperture of mirror. Okay, this is the aperture where the incident ray falls. Okay, the surface on which the incident ray falls is nothing but an aperture, and this geometric center of this aperture is known as what? Of the mirror is known as pole. It is known as pole. Understood? And it is represented by a letter say P. Second concept, here I shown P, here also it is a P. Okay. Next. Second concept is about center of curvature. Now what is this center of curvature? Center of curvature means it is a center, geometric center of the circle or a sphere. It is a geometric center of the sphere whose mirror is a part. Okay, it is a geometric center of sphere, or I say halo sphere, geometric center of halo sphere whose mirror is a part, mirror उसका एक पार्ट रहेगा. So I get this geometric center over here, center of curvature. I can denote it by say C. Now third concept is nothing but about a radius of curvature. Same way you can write the definition. It is a radius. It is what? A radius of the halo sphere whose the mirror is a part. I can say this it is a radius of halo sphere whose mirror is a part. Okay, mirror is a part. So these are the three definitions. Now one more definition which I am going to explain you is a fourth one about principal axis. Now what is this principal axis? It is a line which is passing, okay, an imaginary line I can say, okay, a line passing through pole and center of curvature is known as principal axis. These are the four different related concepts to the mirror, right? Two more concepts we are going to study is about the focus. So let's start. Fifth concept is the focus. What is the focus? Now this focus is a point on the principal axis. I can say these are the principal axis. Okay. So the focus is a point. On the principal axis where after reflection of the ray of light incident on the mirror actually meets in case of concave mirror. Okay. Let's see this more explanative using the diagram. If I draw a diagram of a concave mirror, this is concave because it is reflecting inside and silvered outside. When a parallel, say this is a principal axis, this has a pole, this concave mirror, when a ray of light which are falling parallel to the principal axis on the concave mirror, after reflection they meet into a single point on the principal axis, and that meeting point is known as focus. In case of convex, you can see that in case of convex, the reflecting surface is a outer surface. This is a principal axis. Okay, this is the pole. Okay, which is the midpoint of the aperture of the mirror. If the incident ray falls on convex mirror, okay, convex mirror parallel to the principal axis, after reflection seems to diverge from a single point. That point on principal axis is known as focus. So from this focus concept we conclude that this concave mirror acts as converging mirror. Concave acts as converging mirror, while convex acts as diverging mirror. Means here in the case of the converging, you can see that all the rays which are falling meet in a single point. That is a converging. What is diverging? Diverging means a ray of light which are passing from a single point, passing to all directions from a single point. This is known as diverging. So these two actions are done by this concave as well as a convex. Concave acts as converging mirror, convex mirror acts as a diverging mirror, and I told you about the focus. So focus, in case of concave mirror, if you say, it is a point on the principal axis. After the incidence of the parallel ray of the light of the concave mirror, after reflection, actually made into that point, and that point is known as what? A focus, right? Now what is in case of the convex mirror? When the incident ray of light, which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection diverges, seems to diverge from a single point. Seems to, that's why I shown it is as dotted line. It seems to, लगता है कि वहां से जा रहा है, but actually it is not going from that point. Okay, so it seems to pass through that point is known as focus. Okay, so keep in mind. Now next concept arose is nothing but about a focal length. About a focal length. Focal length. What is focal length? Focal length is nothing but a distance. It is a distance of focus from pole, or distance between the focus and the pole is known as a focal length. So I can say this distance FP as a focal length. Okay, keep in mind. By simple geometry, it is proved that the focal length is half of the radius of curvature, and I can say the radius of curvature is 2 times of focal length. So this relation also you keep in mind. Geometrically it is proved. Okay, for a day this much material is sufficient, and I hope that all the concept taught by me you can understand, and if you have a problem, then it is decided to take and arrange your sessions, right? Online sessions for a discussion only, right? Thank you.